Hello everyone, welcome to Bibliomania once again. First of all, I'd like to apologise that this video is recorded a bit later than intended, but time rather went away from me, so sorry for that. So as I promised, this video is going to be concentrating on Maria Brontë, who is the oldest sibling. She did not have a very long life, dying very young, but I'll go into a bit about her life, a bit about her character if I can, within this video. First of all, when she was young, quite young, she would read out newspaper reports to her other siblings. She was very well advanced for her age in that respect. Her father, Patrick, said of her that she could discuss big subjects of the day like any adult could, and it included politics, and she would be really good at doing that. When she went away to school to Bridge, this was in July 1824, she went with the next sister in line, the next sibling in line of age, which is Elizabeth. Maria at this time was 10 years of age. And then Charlotte and Emily followed in September. But unfortunately, the school Bridge was, it was a pretty unhealthy school, unhealthy environment. They provided very bad quality food, and it was not a very place for children to be sent to for their schooling. Well, in following year, February 1825, Maria became seriously ill with consumption, which was the downfall of all the Brontë siblings, pretty much. And she had to be sent home from school with her sister Elizabeth. Unfortunately, 3 months later she died, and this was a real shock to the family, because actually a few years before, their mother had passed away, and Maria had taken on the role of surrogate mother for the other siblings. So she was looked up to by them, and it was a real shock to them when she passed away. The sibling was most deeply affected into adulthood was Branwell. As I say, even into adulthood, he was deeply affected by her death. And I'd like now to read from a poem he wrote in her honour. It's entitled Misery 2. It was written in March 1836, and this is a stanza from that poem. There was a light, but it is gone. There was a hope, but all is o'er. Where, Maria, where art thou now? I do seem to see thee now. Thy smiling eyes and shining brow, thy sunny cheek and golden hair, all through the noontide of my years, how thou didst enter all my fears, and hopes of joy and smiles and tears. How often have thy bright blue eyes driven sorrow shrinking from its shrine, and banished all my misery before one heavenly look of thine. So you can tell from that poem that Branwell, and this is a good 11 years after Maria passed away, still thinks very fondly of his sister. And as I related to in my video on Branwell, he was so deeply affected by her death that even into adulthood, he missed her support that she gave him, and even though his other sisters were there for him, they couldn't provide the same support that I believe she could have done if she had lived. Relating back to her school days, Maria was thought of as, one teacher described her as having a fine imagination and extraordinary talents. And her father actually said how spiritually involved she was, even for a young age. She was very much the epitome of Helen Burns in Charlotte's novel Jane Eyre. It's quite clear that Helen Burns was really based very strongly on Maria. Indeed, one of the teachers at Cowan Bridge was actually modelled on Miss Scatcherd, who is the awful teacher at Lowood, who inflicted terrible mental torture on Helen Burns. When she was suffering badly, she made it even worse for her with the terrible cruelty, and the same fate unfortunately befell Maria in real life. And that is one of the main reasons, I think, why Charlotte was aghast when Jane Eyre came out, and the critics said, oh, basically saying some of the scenes were completely way over the top and they were so not realistic at all, and she was upset by that because these were, as she said, taken straight from the life, and yet the critics thought that she made them up when she didn't. It was based firmly on her own reality. So that's about all for now on this video. Thank you again for tuning in to Brontë Mania. And my next video, which I plan to record tomorrow, will be on Emily, and I hope you'll enjoy that video too. Thank you very much for looking in. Bye for now.